Ciao Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel, where of course it's all Juve all the time. I'm Alberto. It's December 28th. I've got all this morning's news around La Vecchia Signora. Okay, we're going to talk about Mercato. We are going to talk Adrian Rabiot. We are going to talk Paul Pogba. We are going to talk about Max Allegri, his future with Juventus. We are going to talk about another name to add to the sporting directors list, and then two possibilities that keep Andrea Agnelli around. All right, so let's get into it. All right, Juventini, friendly reminder, like the video and, of course, subscribe to the channel. All right, now let's get to the news. All right, so there's a meeting set for Friday with Lazio and the agents of Luca Pellegrini as they try to find personal terms, all right, that could push the move in the summer for the player. All right, so that is in the works as we speak. Juventus and Roma both being linked with a move for Isco. In my personal opinion, this is years too late, and I hope that Juve doesn't go through with this one. Okay, so I hope it's just nothing more than a loose rumor. All right, now we get to Diego Dallo. He is a short list for right backs. Max Allegri likes him a lot. All right, in terms of Milik, Arkadiusz Milik looks like he's going to get a purchase, an outright purchase from Juventus, so look for Milik to be sticking around. Paredes, completely different story. He's got the next 6 months to try and push his case to get the purchase from Juventus, but right now all signs are pointing to him being sent back to PSG. All right, Paul Pogba, there are rumors and reports surfacing today of some of the Juve staff, and doesn't name who exactly, are annoyed with Paul Pogba's activity. I guess one was the trip to the World Cup final, and the other was this latest ski trip that he was posting on Instagram or whatnot. So again, some annoyance coming out from the Juve camp, but take that with a grain of salt. We don't actually know, just could be headlines trying to make waves and whatnot. Last I heard was Juve granted him permission for the World Cup final to go and head there, so I can't see them all of a sudden being annoyed or upset that he went. So yeah, take everything with a grain of salt, Juventini. Okay, now we get to another name added for the sporting director, and that is Luis Campos, who recently left PSG. So Luis Campos is also added to the list of a potential new sporting director at Juventus. Now, Adrian Rabiot, apparently Max Allegri is not ready to let Adrian Rabiot go just yet, and he is going to have personal meetings with Adrian Rabiot and try to sway his decision from leaving. The interesting thing about this is that recently we've been getting reports that Max Allegri, and even as early as yesterday, okay, so yesterday there were reports that Scanavino, who's now taking over temporarily as GM, is saying that Max Allegri, if he reaches the top four, he is going to remain for another season. But I said don't bite into that one too much this late, because this is just the new board and new management that's established right now. But once the new sporting director comes in and he has his support staff around him, they could have other plans, and that is exactly what's getting reported today, is that Max Allegri is going to be reevaluated with the new sporting director and actual football operations team of management that comes in. Okay, so this whole thing about him wanting to get Rabiot, and even these links with players that he wants to bring in, take it all with a grain of salt, because Max's future at the club is still uncertain. Okay, so there you have it. That's the latest. Max's future is still uncertain. As far as Rabiot goes, I fully believe he is going to take the money, take the payout, and head to the Premier League, which he wants to play in. All right, so that's my thoughts on that whole situation. But as far as Max Allegri goes, don't buy into all this news that he's automatically guaranteed next season if we reach top four. It's very much still open. Everybody needs to remember that Scanavini is temporarily general manager. Okay, so that's it. Now, last, certainly not least, Andrea Agnelli. There are apparently two possibilities with Andrea Agnelli. Okay, so one possibility is that he actually comes back and returns as president. If Alkin and him see fit, once all the dust settles and everything moves in the set direction. Remember the key words Agnelli said in that last shareholders meeting is that he took the decision and he separated himself from everything's going on so that they could see it had nothing to do with personal interest in terms of the decisions that were being made. So that one was really, really interesting, and it's sticking with me. But the second possibility is that he buys the club outright, okay, and becomes sole owner and whatnot. So these are two possibilities that are floating around right now, right? And that wraps up the news on those big scenarios that could actually happen at Juventus. You know the drill, Juventine. Like the video, but drop your comments, questions, thoughts, and opinions. And there's a lot of news in there today. Can't wait to hear from all of you. And until tomorrow's episode, Forza Juve, fino alla fine. Ciao.